Going to a party when you have absolutely nothing interesting to say is a uniquely terrifying experience. The moment you step through the front door, the loud music hits you, and you realize you are completely empty inside. You have no funny anecdotes, no wild travel stories, and your only hobby for the past 3 months has been staring at your ceiling fan while contemplating the infinite vastness of the universe. Most people believe that to survive this environment, you need to possess the natural charisma of a daytime television talk show host. But the truth is that commanding the room is actually the worst possible strategy you could ever attempt. If you go on the internet to look for advice, you will find endless articles telling you to act confident and ask incredibly open questions. They want you to walk up to random strangers eating potato chips and ask them what their biggest childhood fear is. This does not make you look like a fascinating social butterfly. It makes you look like an undercover detective who is trying to find a suspect for a crime that has not happened quite yet. Other self-improvement blogs will tell you to pretend that you are the host of the party. You are supposed to walk around offering people drinks and introducing them to each other. The fatal flaw with this plan is that you are not the host. When the actual host catches you rearranging their furniture and offering their expensive cheese to strangers, you will be swiftly escorted out. So if you cannot dominate the conversation and you cannot steal the identity of the host, what exactly are you supposed to do when you are trapped in a social setting? The secret is actually incredibly simple. You do not need to be interesting at all. You just need to be a conversational mirror with a slight tilt. Consider our good friend Bro who recently went to a gathering. Bro is entirely average. He does not have a fancy job, he does not climb mountains on the weekend, and his greatest achievement this year was fixing his internet router by turning it off and on again. Yet, when Bro goes to parties, people walk away from him thinking he is the most captivating and charismatic individual they have ever met. How does he achieve this massive psychological illusion? He uses a technique that relies entirely on human psychology. People love talking about themselves more than they love literally anything else in the entire world. If you let someone talk about their own life, their brain releases the same happy chemicals as when they eat chocolate or win a prize. Bro simply walks up to a person, asks one extremely basic question, and then lets them speak until they run out of oxygen. He does not interrupt them with his own stories because he knows his stories are completely boring anyway. But you cannot just stand there in absolute silence while they speak. If you do that, you will look like a creepy statue. You have to provide active feedback. This means nodding your head slightly and using filler words like wow, exactly, and seriously. When they finish a sentence, you simply take the last 3 words they said and repeat them back as a question. If they say they went to the store to buy almond milk, you look at them with wide eyes and say, "Buy almond milk?" This magically prompts them to keep talking for another hour easily. Now eventually, they will pause and realize they have been talking for a really long time. Out of basic politeness, they will turn the attention back to you and ask you a question. This is the moment where most people panic and ruin everything. You might be tempted to give a long, rambling answer about your boring job or your weird obsession with obscure video game mechanics. Do not do this. The rule here is to answer their question in exactly 2 short sentences and then immediately pivot the spotlight right back onto them with another engaging question very smoothly. Another brilliant tactic you can use is to have 3 incredibly mild but firm opinions locked and loaded in your brain before you even leave your house. These should not be opinions about politics or religion or anything that will start a physical altercation in the kitchen. They should be opinions about completely trivial nonsense that everyone has experienced. For example, you can boldly claim that sparkling water tastes like television static. Or you can passionately argue that the best shape of pasta is undoubtedly the bow tie because it feels like you are eating your way toward becoming a gentleman. When you finally share a slightly absurd personal opinion like this, it immediately lowers the stakes of the entire interaction. People realize they do not need to sound smart around you because you just spent 2 minutes aggressively analyzing the structural integrity of pasta. This makes them feel safe, and when people feel safe, they relax and start having fun. The pressure to be a deeply intellectual genius completely evaporates into thin air. You have successfully created an environment where everyone can just be delightfully stupid together, which is ultimately the entire point of going to parties anyway. If all else fails and you still find yourself stuck in a painfully awkward silence, there is a legendary emergency escape hatch you can always use. All you have to do is look slightly past the person you are talking to, widen your eyes a fraction, and say that you urgently need to find the bathroom. No one on earth will ever question a bathroom excuse because the alternative is letting a grown adult soil themselves in the middle of a living room. It is the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card for any terrible conversation imaginable. Once you escape to the bathroom, you can take a moment to breathe and remind yourself of the most comforting fact in the entire universe. Absolutely, nobody at this party actually cares about you or your social performance. They are all far too worried about their own awkward hand placements and weird facial expressions to analyze yours. We are all just pretending to be normal functioning members of society, hoping no one notices that we are actually terrified toddlers trapped in adult bodies. So stop trying to be the most interesting person in the room. Instead, just be the person who makes other people feel incredibly interesting. It is a foolproof strategy that requires zero actual personality traits on your end. Just nod your head. Ask them to repeat their last few words. Boldly declare your irrational hatred for sparkling water, and you will survive the night. Eventually, you can go home, put on your most comfortable pajamas, and proudly resume staring at your beautiful ceiling fan in peaceful solitude. If this totally flawless social advice helped you survive, please donate a generous subscribe to help fund the creation of our very next new video.